Hello, Candidate 392. Welcome to the year 2459. I will now dim the lights and we will get started shortly. Please direct your gaze to the countdown timer to begin. The world you were once familiar with was filled with problems scattered all across the earth. Families were struggling, and this placed future generations at increased risk. The possibility of an empty and lifeless future was close to becoming a reality. Evidently, something had to be changed. Some of our previous candidates will now provide a brief presentation regarding some of the problems we had to solve.
Poverty was a major issue that we had to consider. It caused a great divide in society, and the rich and the poor would live entirely different lives. This was because poverty quickly became a multi-dimensional issue that considered health, education, and the standard of living. For example, in 2016, 1.5 billion people lived in multi-dimensional poverty, and a further 900 million were at risk. As a result, many children were forced to grow up without the necessities of life, and this perpetuated the poverty cycle. Please turn to your right to learn about the next problem we had to solve.
Slavery was also a prevalent issue. Following a considerable amount of effort, it was officially abolished in 1865 within the US. However, this was unsuccessful, and the issue prevailed for many years. In 2017, there were approximately 40 million slaves around the world. 25 million slaves were in Asia and the Pacific, 9 million slaves in Africa, and a further 6 million throughout other parts of the world. Slavery also had many forms, including physical labor, sexual exploitation, and domestic servitude. What's more, 1/4 of the world's slaves were children, and this prolonged the issue. Please turn right, where another candidate will discuss the issue of violence.
Violence wreaked havoc in multiple forms. Countless wars were fought, and mass genocides were committed over and over again. For example, in the Rwandan genocide of 1994, between 800,000 and 1 million deaths occurred over 100 days. This meant that over 6 deaths occurred every minute of every hour each day. After such events, various laws and regulations were implemented regarding violent conduct. Despite this, violence has continued in several forms. Our next candidate will now discuss the issue of disease. Please turn your attention to the right once again.
Disease also ravaged the earth and impacted many people. These illnesses would mutate over time and spread far and wide. For example, the Black Death was one of the world's worst pandemics and killed 30 to 60% of Europe's total population during the 14th century. In more recent times, cures have been developed for various diseases. Despite this, in 2017, there were still 3 million deaths that could have been prevented with vaccines.
Take a look around. All of these problems were affecting the Earth over and over again. What's more, they were combined with environmental issues, such as rising sea levels due to global warming. The world seemed to be heading for a very morbid future. Luckily, we stepped in. We wanted to protect planet Earth and create a perfect society. Now, it's your turn to help. How will you make a difference?